This is a podcast of 98FM's Dublin Talks. Remember, catch the show live Monday to Friday at 10 a.m.
98FM's Dublin Talks with Adrian Kennedy.
98FM.
How would you feel if an office were to open near your home providing a treatment program for men who have committed sexual offences? How would you feel if group therapy sessions for men who have offended against either in a non-contact way, for example the internet, or who have committed sexual offences? Would you be happy to know that these men are being treated next to you? Well, a group in Sallynoggin is getting together to object to such a centre. And I'm joined on the line by a lady called Saoirse. Saoirse, this was mentioned briefly on our show on Friday. Tell me what you know and what you're objecting to.
Right, so basically the whole community only found out last week that there's a centre up the road called 10A Church Place, just directly across from Holy Child Community School. And it's been to let for a number of years and nobody knew what was going on with it really or what was inside it. Now, we found out by people going into the Petals flower shop and asking each night, where's 10A, where's 10A? And doing a bit of research that it's actually being used for the last 10 weeks as group therapy for registered sex offenders, whether that be contact or non-contact as in online. And the community were never informed that this was going to be on our doorstep.
And who is supposedly running this centre?
The FPS. So they've basically, we think they're renting it. It's the Forensic Psychological Services. They were working in Dún Laoghaire for a number of years, and nobody knew about that either. And now they've moved their group therapy from Dún Laoghaire to Sallynoggin, but they specify that it's just outside the Dún Laoghaire area instead of saying Sallynoggin, but we know it's there.
Now, obviously, a centre like this will have certain clients that perhaps you might not want hanging around the area of Sallynoggin.
Yeah.
But what is the main concern? Is that what the concern is, that these are people that you don't want in Sallynoggin?
Yeah, well, the concern for us really is the kids and our own safety because of the placement. You know, it's in a family community where council housing mainly. It's directly across from a secondary school that has a creche. There's also a primary school, there's a college, a youth club and 2 other creches. Now, there is other things that go on in this centre. There is also therapy classes for vulnerable people like disabled kids, people who've been sexually assaulted, and family therapy. Now, we're not causing any disruption to those classes, and we've been trying to make that clear because they closed the centre out of threats of violence. Nobody has threatened violence. We've been peacefully protesting, and we think it's silly that you'd have a group of sex offenders in with a group of, you know, the same building where there's disabled kids and other vulnerable people, you know. Why would you put the two together?
OK, now, this evening in the Sallynoggin Inn, you're planning a meeting. What are you hoping to achieve at that meeting, and who's invited?
Well, we want to know the truth, basically. We got in touch with a few of the councillors last week. Not many people were interested. Now, we've one of the community guard on board, so he'll be there with us tonight. And basically, Cormac Devlin has got a meeting for us with one of the doctors from the centre in Sallynoggin and himself. Now, he's not really on board with us either because he says it's not his area or blah, blah, blah. And, you know, none of them are interested in getting involved. They're trying to sugarcoat it and pretend it's not this, it's not that. You know, they've updated their website and changed the wording on everything, but we've all the original proof. We've got a letter we've written up to share our feelings on the matter. We've got nearly over 400 signatures, and we have all the screenshots printed out, and we're going to hand them everything in an envelope tonight and see what we can get from it.
If your campaign or your protest were to be successful, where would you like to see a centre like this being located?
Well, personally, and as far as I've spoken to everyone in the community as well, we don't understand why it has to be placed in a housing area. You know, could it not be done somewhere like an industrial estate or something, you know, just away from family communities and children, you know, schools, and it just seems so ridiculous. I mean, they were in Shankill before as well. I don't know if it was the same company, but Shankill kicked up and got them kicked out as well.
Okay, so this is the start of a campaign that ultimately you want to see this centre being moved from its current location at 10A Church Place.
Yeah, and anywhere else they are, if they're near children or anything, why can't they put them somewhere else, like an industrial estate, as I said, or just somewhere away from children and people that, that would tempt them to possibly re-offend. We're not saying that their point is people need rehabilitation. That's fine, but, they're willing to risk the kids of Sallynoggin, getting hurt if one person reoffends. How are we supposed to know that they'll be fully rehabilitated? If they've done it once before, it doesn't say they're not going to do it again, does it?
All right, well, Saoirse, we're going to keep in touch with you during the week, and obviously we'll follow up on that meeting in the Sallynoggin Inn tonight. Yeah. But in the meantime, Thanks very much indeed for talking to us on 98FM.
Thanks a million.
Now, according to Forensic Psychological Services, they told us just a little bit earlier on that there are currently no plans for a rehabilitation centre for paedophiles in Sallynoggin. They also said that the director of Forensic Psychological Services will be meeting locals in the near future to address any issues or worries they may have. But anyway, we will keep an eye on that story over the next couple of weeks.
This is a podcast of 98FM's Dublin Talks. Remember, catch the show live Monday to Friday at 10 a.m.
98FM's Dublin Talks with Adrian Kennedy. 98FM.